gonna be close, baby. Welcome back to Truth Quest. My name is Moriarity. I will be your host, and we're going to go on a quest for truth together. Yes, we certainly are, because here at the Truth Quest, we're going to be sharing this on out to our friends over there on Facebook, and so we can say hi to some of our friends and invite them on over to this little party we're having. How's that sound? That sounds pretty good to me. Oops, caps lock. Sorry about that. There's always that caps lock thing. All right. Well, welcome, friends. Welcome to the Truth Quest. I'm going to go on my Facebook page and share it out to my my Truth Quest Facebook page. Maybe some more people will be over there. Well, let's just give her a try. Shall we now? I hope you're all having a wonderful, wonderful evening. And if you didn't catch the last show, you're going to want to check that out, because my good friend Zoso Dude visited the show and was a great guest. So catch that. It's the Zoso Dude 77 interview that I had on Monday night with that cool cat, Zoso Dude, from his show, The Mystery Ship. And it's the mystery ship because you never know where it's going to go. It's a very cool show. And I think actually he's on right now. I think we might have to stagger our times a little bit so that we're not running into each other. Yeah. So let's see. Jacob Waters, Catherine Weiss, hello and welcome to the Truth Quest. Thanks, folks, for being here. I appreciate it. Because here at the Truth Quest, we're just downrange of strange, where the outrageous is contagious, and the paranormal is, as you know, the new normal, as it were. Yeah, that's a little bright. It's a little better. Is that too dark? I don't know. I can't tell. Well, I hope you're all doing very, very well tonight. There's a lot of things going on, as you know. I hope everyone, Mud Rabbit, hello there. Welcome to the program. And thanks for stopping by. I think, let's see. I think the mystery ship might be on. Yeah, he's on right now too. I got to talk to him about our scheduling. I got to maybe wait till his is done or something. Or do it before. I don't know. Let's see. That is weird. Need to braid it up again. Okay, there we go. There we are. Yes, hello everybody. And so glad that you could make it here. Oh, you were just over at Zoso's? Yeah. Oh, thank you. We could drop his link here too. I'm not sure how much longer he's broadcasting. I tried to message him on Twitch, but it wouldn't connect. It wouldn't connect, and I tried it numerous times. I refreshed. Something might be wrong with my confuser or my, I don't know, the dogs are chewing on the cord maybe downstairs. Possibly. I don't want to accuse them of something they didn't do, though. It's just a possibility. So I've had a little bit of problems with that. Connecting and so if it buffers, please excuse it. It's my old confuser. Oh yeah, Mud Rabbit, you like the show Monday? Yeah, that was really, I couldn't believe how fast it went. And I looked at the clock, I went, holy moly. Holy moly, Rocky. Oh my goodness. Thank you. Thank you, Catherine, for the super chat. That is awesome. that really, really helps a lot. We'll be able to make a down payment on the old electric bill. So thanks so much. You know, living up here in the wintertime and having lived in cold regions my whole life, I don't know, you know, you know how some places have power outages now? I designed some exercise equipment years ago that generate electricity when you use them. And I just think that would be cool. You could generate, you know, the power to heat the house, you know? So the idea is that it could be like a bicycle. One of the designs could be like a bicycle with a big heavy flywheel underneath, spinning at high RPMs. You get it spinning, and that baby will spin all day and generate electricity for your house power and things like that. And it's good exercise. You know, every house should have something like that. But so there we go. I got some things to show you here, friends. How does that sound? Oh, and I'm going to grab number 3 as my lucky number on the big thumbs up. I'm number 3. Oh, and someone got number 4. I'm sure that we're going to get a lot of people with lucky numbers today. A very cold winter? Yeah, it seems like it. Yeah, I have to get my storm window on my window here. Yeah, I still haven't done that. I was going to do it today, but I thought, no. It's right by my computer stuff, and I don't want to. It's going to be tough. Going to be tough. So I never built those things. I did, however, draw them up, and I made a video presentation, and I showed it to some companies to sell it as a concept, but nobody was interested. This was back in the 90s. So maybe there's still an opportunity there. But let's take a look at what we're looking at today, friends. There's a couple of things that looked intriguing. One thing that I saw, so now the Chinese, I believe it's the Chinese now have a hypersonic spacecraft that can go into orbit and park in geosynchronous orbit and just hang out up there and do whatever they, want to do, play target practice with satellites, perhaps. They've had killer satellites for a long time. I think the first ones, they just would dump a bunch of nuts and bolts in space in the line of where the satellite they wanted to get. And then it would come and hit it at 17,000 miles an hour and tear it to pieces. But this is a little bit more. So now what this means is if China has, and I'm assuming these craft have people in them. So we're going to have, pretty soon it's going to be like dogfighting. So I think the country with the best video game players is probably going to win because they're used to, playing those little video games. Yeah, some people might need like that, something like going forward. I've seen things like that. People have built their own things like that. Yeah, I think that's the way to go. Generate your own power. Heat. Heat is always a problem. But so if we all think about stuff like that, we can solve lots of problems. So that's interesting. I bet you Space Force is going to be. We're probably going to be, rolling out the X-wing fighters pretty soon. What do you think? Do you think so? Friends, I want to show you something here. So, okay, I was looking at this video. We played part of this the other day, where there's this channel. It plays like a continuous footage of being above the Earth and the space station and the Earth below it. And so what I did was, you know, I'm always curious, you know, that's why I do a show like this. And so I see a picture like, you know, it's moving. Okay, I took a screenshot. I took several screenshots as it was going. It was changing, you know, and so I think they combined different dates. It wasn't exactly like the same day I watched it. I think it was a replay, but they stitch all these footages together and they present them as a live feed, but it might not actually be live, but it was live at one point. So the point is, I took this picture and I thought, wow, you know, the screenshot. And I'm always looking at space going, I wonder what's in space, right? So check this out, guys. Just hear me out on this one. So I pumped up the brightness, okay? So now you see the Earth here. You see, you know, part of the space station here, here, a little bit here, and here. And the Earth, and then black space, right? Okay, watch this. Okay, you see that? Over here, it looks like a ruler or something. But over here, there's something here, okay? There is something there. Look at that. Look at that. Now, I did this a couple times over. You see that? I'm going to zoom in on that sucker, okay? Look at this. Now, what is this? It's clearly not part of the, it's not connected to the space station here. It's something out there in space, okay? What is it though? What is this thing? What is it? So what I did was I took it and I brought all the highlights up like it is here. And then I saved it. And then I did it again. And I'll show you what I got. Okay. You'll see how super bright the Earth looks. And the space station. But look at that. Just look at that. What is that? Look at this thing, friends. I think this is like a discovery or something like that. What do you think? What do you think of it? What do you think of them apples? Now, I was the one who discovered, I don't know if anyone else has ever discovered this on this particular stream, but I was pretty proud. Whoa, I found something. I found something. It looks interdasting, doesn't it? It sure does. Sure does. So, if we fuzz it out a little bit, you see, if you go too sharp with it, then you get the pixelation. So it has to be a little bit fuzzy. What do you think that is, friends? We'll add a little contrast to it and see what happens. Okay, it disappears. So I don't know, man. But you tell me what you think this is. Because I think it's pretty cool. There's something there. It almost looks like a big kind of a space station here with like a rocket on top or some kind of craft attached to it. Don't you think? Reflection on the interior of the glass? That could be. That could be, but it really didn't show up. If it was really a reflection, it would have probably shown up because there would have been a light inside the craft. This was totally dark. I mean, you couldn't see it at all. There's just nothing there. You can't see it. So I don't know what the heck that darn thing is. It's just an amazing anomaly right now. You know, I don't know what the heck to think about it, but I guess it is what it is. And I got one more close-up of it. Is that it? Not the one I just had on there. We'll see. I don't know if this is the same one I just had. Maybe it is. Or maybe not. Nope, this is the one. So there it is. What is it? Who knows? It's an amazing anomaly. That's all he can say. Maybe Secret Space Patrol. Could be, Jerry. Looks like it's attached. You think it's attached to this? Well, but look how bright this is. This is obviously closer. I mean, so, oh, that's not it. Oh boy, where is it? Where is it? There it is. Okay. So you see how bright the craft is here, the space station, and the Earth is super, super, super bright. In order to get this to show up, I had to really crank up the exposure and the shadows. So this thing was lurking in the darkness there with obviously no light source of its own. It's probably just getting some ambient light from the Earth or something. It doesn't have any light source of its own. And there are some dots here. I don't know if these are distant stars or what these are. Maybe these are small craft coming and going. I don't know, or other satellites perhaps. But they didn't show up in the original picture either. They were totally dark. The only reason they show up is because I brightened it to the point of you know, super brightness, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I think it could be something. I thought it was something to bring up on the show for sure. Let's see what people are saying. Yeah, it's interesting. It's very interesting. So that's got me a little bit captivated lately. So that's what that is. And you just never know what you're going to find. I mean, I wasn't really expecting to find anything. I just did it out of just pure curiosity of like, oh, there's some black space there. What could be lurking? Because I've seen other people do this on other pictures, you know, but it's usually because you can see something, you know, you can barely see it. I couldn't see anything. And, you know, maybe it's my eyesight. I don't know, but I couldn't see anything. I did it to another one and I couldn't find anything. So, you know, if it's a reflection, and you would probably see that reflection in every picture, right? Or most of them, but I didn't. Wasn't Skylab shaped like that? Yeah, I think it was. Skylab supposedly crashed to the ground, but that, you know, who knows, right? They don't tell us the truth. If they say it is crashing and they throw some junk out there and make people think that's what it is, then they can do their clandestine experimentations up there without any oversight, right? That's a very, very distinct possibility. I never thought of that before. But yeah, Skylab. Let's, you know what? I have the intro net here. strangely enough. So I'll look up Skylab. We'll get a little visual. All right. Skylab. I remember that when I was a kid, many years ago, right? From May 73 to February 74. Skylab 2, 3, 4. Interesting. All right, we'll go to images. Whoa. You are not kidding. That does look like it. Oh my God, we found Skylab. You guys, well, maybe. I don't know. You know what? I'm going to pull this down and show you all these pictures because you can't find one an exact same. Wow, this is going to blow you guys away. All right, check this out. Maybe you already looked. You sleuths, you guys are the best. So here, check this out. This is what our friends at DuckDuckGo show us. So what do you think about this? This picture here, the first one, look, there's a long thing below it, and this is above it. What is that? What is this big thing here? I don't know. Is that the Skylab? That big thing? Here it is. It's got a little thing on top. Okay, so what did that thing look like again? It looks kind of like Skylab, maybe a little bit different. What do you guys think? Yeah, it's similar. Look, this one looks pretty interesting, interdasting. Yeah, they probably have all kinds of things like this up there, But just seeing this configuration along, tube-like thing with a structure with wings on top of it, or solar panels, or whatever you want to call them, helicopter wings, solar helicopter wings, or propellers. Yeah, look at that. It's pretty cool looking. You'd think they could think of some way to save it, right? You build that thing, you set it up there, and just let it crash back to Earth. But, well, maybe it's still up there. Maybe we found, look at this. This is pretty impressive looking. Wow. Yeah. If you take a look at the space program and look at all the different things they've done, it's pretty incredible. Pretty incredible. And I'm so glad that there's excitement for it again. But, I don't know if it should be promoted by billionaires. It should be, because in the old days, it was like for the public. It seemed like it was anyway. Oh, look at this one. Interdasting. Yeah, well, it's fun to look at this. Oh, here's pieces of it after it came down. Holy smokes. Watch out for that Skylab. Just keeps falling. And a lot of times when you see footage of like something burning up in the atmosphere, a lot of times it could be one of these things that is falling back to Earth. Maybe there was a battle. Maybe there was an accident. Maybe it was just old and the orbit decayed. Who knows, right? So that's Skylab. Wonderful, huh? Well, that was interesting. That was very interesting. Let's see. Hi, Free Range Brain. Glad you could make it. Oh, there was a mutiny on it, and David Adair said they did some insane stuff on it. Wow. Yeah, David Adair is something else. I'd like to get him on the show. If anybody has a line for him, let me know. That's really a great spotting, Aaron. Well, thanks. Yeah, it's just a happenstance. So I wasn't really trying. Well, I was trying to find something. But it's like a needle in a haystack, you know? I took a bunch of screenshots, but I haven't even checked all of them yet. I only checked a couple. One didn't have it, and one did have something. I thought, wow, that's kind of interesting. Kind of interesting. This is episode 110, friends. Thank you all for being here. Thanks for sharing, liking, and subscribing. Remember to tell all your friends to subscribe. Remember also to tell all your enemies to subscribe. And everybody. And hit the like button and everything else like that. Because that's a great way to help out. Help a guy out. And there you go. So yeah, very interesting indeed. So that's an amazing find. You don't really see stuff like that every day. And I'm just going to take one more look at it here in that kind of a close-up shot where it's all kind of, maybe we can zoom in on it. Yeah, look at that thing. What is it? What is that thing? It's something. It's definitely something. Let's take all the color out, see what it looks like. Okay. Huh. It does look like a structure, people. It totally looks like a structure. A couple of structures connected, actually. Which, you know, really bolsters the idea that it's some kind of space station. Or two ships docking or something. Right? If we could find out exactly what day this happened, then we could find, you know, days after that, weeks, months after that, and see if it shows up again in that same spot. Who knows, right? Then these other little dots here. What are those? Those other little dots. It's two white dots. Could be scout ships. Who knows? So there it is. Some other things of interest. Now, I'm not sure if I can actually show this or not, because you'll see when I show it to you, but it explicitly says to not do something that you can't help but do. So I hope we don't get in trouble for this, folks. Looks like those ships from the movie Space Force. Maybe it's Space Force. Yeah, that's wishful thinking. That's hopeful thinking. I hope you're right. So here's something, friends. Now, it's something that we're not supposed to look at, but you know what? We're into full disclosure here, okay? So here we go. Check this out. What do you think about that? Private sign, do not read. Well, I hope you're all seeing it. It's not around here. Not seeing it. But anyway, I hope you're all seeing it. And you are. Private sign, do not read. So don't read it, okay? That's the dad joke. I think that's so funny. I think if we all should make signs like this would be so funny. Don't you think? I think it would be great. You can go ahead and take a screenshot of that and post it yourself. It's pretty darn funny. I saw that on Facebook, just rolling around. Hillbilly sign, yeah. Yeah, yeah. I'm sure we could probably do a little bit better, but still it gets the point across. It's just for a joke, so it's pretty nice for a little joke. We're raising our vibrations. Every time we giggle, we raise our vibrations, and that's how we ascend to giggledom, right? Where you're laughing and everyone's having a good time and everyone's happy in the best kind of land in the world. Best meme. Yeah. Memes rock. Memes are saving the world. We're going to save the world with memes. Memes, memes, memes. Here's a good one. Now, here's some, it's just, I love memes. They're just, they slap you. And it's a good thing. It's a darn good thing. Now, what do you think about that? Yeah. Okay. Is it? Not finding it, people. Uh-oh. Now we're in trouble. Okay. Yes. Isn't that amazing? So deadly. But it doesn't affect us, people that don't really give a crap. I love that picture. Look how happy they look. Don't you love it? Meme after meme after meme. And I wish I could see them when you see them. I have to figure something out here. But anyhow, sir, there you go. Isn't that amazing? You have to fear it for it to have power over you. Isn't that interesting? You have nothing to fear but fear itself. And fear itself is what they're pumping 24/7 or 25/7, like a friend of mine says. Yeah. And it's just not good. But we don't watch that. As little as I watch, the little bit I watch, I just, oh my God, these poor people paying for cable and getting that. Ooh, the intronet's way better. You can tune in, find your peeps, find your shows, and it's a lot cooler, right? It's cool, 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 cool as a moose, I would say. I did some hunting, friends, and I found this. I know you'd be interested in this. I'm always curious about the origins of things, right? Like the origins of things. Like the first smartphone. I believe I found evidence of the very first smartphone. What do you think about that? Good old Maxwell Smart. And his shoe phone. Yes. There he is. Yeah. Kind of like our buddy Maxwell Smart, who calls in from time to time. First smartphone. Yes, I think that was Maxwell Smart's phone. So funny when his shoe would ring. He'd be in like a theater and you have to answer his shoe. Like, how can you be an undercover agent if you're showing everybody what your secret phone looks like? That was such a funny show. If you haven't seen it, friends, go and watch Maxwell Smart. Get Smart. It's called Get Smart. It was a series from the 60s, and it was just hilarious. Yeah. Yeah, I have Get Smart on DVD, so I feel very lucky to have that. I can break it out at any time and watch some of those old episodes. I also have Leave It to Beaver, Gilligan's Island. What else do I have? Twilight Zone, all the good ones. So why would I ever need television? I've got it all. Yes, great show. It was on Meme. Yes, memes rock. Memes, meme learning is going to be the next thing in learning. Forget about Common Core. That was idiotic, stupid pipe dream of the globalists. Meme learning. That's how people learn. Like a wham, it hits them in the head. And like a single frame comic. Boom, meme magic. It happens. Happens every time you damp mop. You get that waxy yellow buildup. Happens every time you damp mop. Oh, and I'm sure you heard about Chris Cuomo, right? I guess he's looking for a new gig. Well, I found a little bit early what his new gig is. Check this out. Chris Cuomo, the idiot who has an idiot brother, and they're both, corrupt. So here he is. He's got a new gig. He's checking this out. Check it out. What do you think about this? Oh, yeah. On The View? I think that might work. I think he's got a bright future in front of himself there. Look at that. It looks so natural. Wow. 1 minute you think someone's career is all mopped up and done, and then a brilliant move like this. Wow. Sachets right into another top spot. How do you like that? Pretty impressive, I must say. Pretty impressive. Yeah, I think he could do good in that. I think he could play the part. I mean, I still couldn't watch it very long on the spew. Yeah. Yes, friends. A spew. That's funny because one of my early memes that I made years ago already, and I gotta show it to you. I can't not show it to you now, right? And I've shown this before on here, but maybe we have some new eyes that haven't seen it. So, rebranding is always a good thing to do. When a show is struggling, what do? You do a rebranding, you rename it, right? So here's a meme I did a few years back, and see what you think about this. We have rebranded our show with a new name that reflects the size of our remaining audience. The few. Oh, yeah. The very few. Yes. And I'm really kind of glad that it's still on the air, not because I want to watch it, but because I can still use this meme. There you go. It's meme longevity through the stupidity of the mainstream media. See, they could stop this meme if they would just cancel the show, but they won't. They'll cancel everything else except themselves. Well, that's why we're building a totally different economy away from all that. And Dan Bongino just made an announcement today, folks. I don't know if you heard this or not, but Rumble is merging, I guess, with CFVI. All right. And it's apparently it's going to bring Rumble into the area where people can invest in it, possibly. I think that's what it was. So watch Dan Bongino. He's going to be talking about that tomorrow. He did a short little blurb tonight about it. Yeah, I used to like Whoopi too when she was part of Star Trek Next Generation, but yeah, she should have stayed out in space. She was much better out in space. You know, keep her on the Starship Enterprise and send it a long ways away. And then everyone will be happy. Everyone will be happy. Well, maybe if Jussie Smollett gets, found guilty, maybe they can sentence him to, co-starring on The View. That would be like hell, wouldn't it? I think he would be crying. All right. The Witches of Angelica Houston, with Angelica Houston. The Witches. Joyless. Yeah. Yeah, Jerry, I agree. I'm not going to repeat it, but yeah. Yeah. That was interesting talking to Zoso Dude, how he used to work for Entertainment Tonight. And I forgot to ask him if he ever met Mary Hart. Remember her? She was on there in the early days, I believe. Wasn't it her and that guy who was a musician too? What was his name? Kind of a tall face, skinny face. Oh, gosh, I can't remember his name. He had a weird name. Oh, you liked her when she did, when Whoopi did HBO specials with Robin Williams and Billy Crystal? Well, that sounds good. Yeah. Yeah. That's the thing. When these entertainers start, opinionating about things, that's where it gets kind of weird, because you could like an actor, but then you hear what they're behind. It's like, whoa, what? But yeah, a lot's coming out in this Ghislaine Maxwell thing, don't you think? It's starting to finally come out. It's pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. Yeah, the series is The View, but they should rename it The Few because there's more people on the show, starring on the show than there is watching it. I guarantee it. And those are probably all family members who are possibly vegetables and don't have a choice. So, yeah. Did you see Whoopi Goldberg had Judge Janine kicked off The View recently? She came on to talk about her book, Liars, Leakers, and Liberals. That didn't go well. And Whoopi wasn't having it. She started spewing old false claims about Trump, and she has TDS so bad that you mention that, and she has it even worse. If you mention TDS to her, she has TDS times 1,000. It's pretty remarkable. If you could just store that energy, you wouldn't have an energy problem, right? Mary Hartman, yeah. That was an interesting show, yeah. Jimmy Joe Jeters. And what's that? Baby Doll. That's that song that that country western singer who was in the show. And she had a husband who was bald. And she sang a song called Baby Boy. Baby Boy, baby. Louise Lasser, yeah. No, not Louise Lasser, the other one. Yeah, someone like that. Yeah, she took it personal. Yeah, she did. That's right. My name is D. Hello, Artist 61. Good to see you. And I'm always glad, I'm glad that a lot of you got to check out Zoso Dude the other day on Monday night. And if you missed that one, go back and watch it and catch Zoso Dude when he's live. I think he's live right now, so you could bump between the two. So yeah, there you go. That's a meme. Proud of that meme. Left it up a little too long, but yeah, anything to, you know, take him down a notch. You know what I mean? Speaking of Ghislaine Maxwell, Ghislaine. Here she is. Here she is at the wedding of Hillary and Bill's daughter. And there's Ghislaine Maxwell. She's the one with the circle around her. If I can find it here. Where is it? Where are you? I'll have to go over here. There it is. There she is, circled with the red circle. And look how guilty Bill looks. Bill looks like he's guilty of everything. Look at that guy. Look at his face. Look at that guy. He looks guilty of a lot of things, I'd say. Hey, Abby. Good to see you here. Dark Brain. All righty. All right. You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to put in the call-in information. So why don't we just do that while I'm thinking about it? Okay, here's one of the mobile numbers and the link. I know, Dark Brain. Yeah, they're trying to paint her as a victim. Well, it's the only thing they can do, really, but they're going to see lots of evidence, so I don't think they're going to be able to have that luxury. But now, apparently, the court was delayed the other day because there are missing jurors. Did you hear about this? This was huge news. I don't know, you might have heard this, but so there were missing jurors, and I guess, now I'm not sure about this, what I heard was, and correct me if I'm wrong, that the families of the jurors found out what case it was, and some of the husband, or at least one of the husbands said, you got to get off of that. We're going to leave the country. We're going to change our names. You got to get away from this. I don't want you near that, fearing for their lives. Isn't this horrifying that this is the case? Yeah. Oh, you didn't hear that? My name is D. I'm trying to remember where I saw that. Of course, I didn't really dig on it. I just saw a post. So give it, give it some time to maybe shake out. It might just be clickbait. I didn't really click on it, so. But it seemed logical. I mean, it's when they said some jurors were missing, I thought, oh my God, they got to him already, and I thought they killed him already, but apparently not. Boy, we have to all, keep these jurors in our prayers, and keep everybody who needs a prayer in our prayers. So just keep an open prayer out for all the good people that need it. So yeah, I'll have to look into that and find out more about that. La, 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 la. Okay. So feel free to call in if you've seen a UFO. You don't have to have seen a UFO. You have an opinion about current events or anything going on. You know, that Jesse Smollett, the Jesse Smollett, you can't even say his name without laughing. Oh, Lahu Zahir. That's what he is. Lahu Zahir. Right? Man. So apparently, you've probably heard this. I've seen a couple different posts. Again, I didn't click on it because I just giggle every time I just hear that name. Juicy. What is that? Smollett. Sounds like some kind of flavor at Orange Julius. I'll have a Jesse Smollett, please. Yeah, doesn't sound like a Judge looks transgender, yeah, or something like that. And Comey's daughter, yeah. You know what I was thinking about James Comey? You know, he's former FBI director, Comey. that name just always kind of got me. You know, so if I was an image consultant and he came to me, hey, how can I fix my image, because it's pretty much in the dog dirt, except for some people on the left like him still for some reason. I don't know. But my advice to him would be, we need a video of you combing your hair. This is how a Comey combs. That's it. That would be my advice to him. Not that I would want him to patch up his reputation, but just if I had that job, that's the advice I'd give him. Comb your hair on camera. Be a Comey. Yeah. Maybe we could mock Comey by combing her hair and talking about how corrupt Comey is. That would be kind of cool. Yeah, so next time you're combing your hair in public, mention something about how corrupt Comey is. It's the Comey hair combing trend. It started here, folks. And it's making a difference. It's waking people up. It's waking up them normies. I saw a really good video. Gosh, I wonder if I should play that. I wonder if I could play that. The videos are so choppy on here, though. It's about this gentleman. He's not a young man, and he's a workman, and he's working somewhere, and hard hat type of work, real men work, real hard labor work. And he said, it was just a close up of his face. He had his work duds on. And he said, the boss came to us today and said to all of us, you need to get the JAB or you're fired. They all got their stuff and they took off towards the gate. Before they got to the gate, the boss said, oh, no, yeah, I guess you guys don't have to. You don't have to get the thing. You can still work here. Stand up. Stand up to the fake mandates. A mandate's like when Barack Obama and Michelle Obama go out. Or Big Mike. That's a mandate, okay? Mandate's not a law. So there you go. Stand up to the lockdowns. Stand up to the lockdowns and stand up for your right to breathe air like a free human. Yes, Jussie leads to Kamala. Yes, remember now, Kamala Harris she campaigned with Juicy Smollett, which is probably one of the many, many numerous reasons that she had a dismal 1% or 2% in Iowa, I believe, or wherever that was. Bad. And she had this legislation she was pushing with someone else, I think Cory Booker, another wannabe daytime soap actor turned wannabe fake Soros politician. So they had this legislation for a lynching bill, anti-lynching bill. And what was this fake Smollett thing? It was a lynching, fake lynching. And they did a dry run of how Juicy wanted this whole thing to go down. And it was all caught on video, on camera. It was caught on the surveillance camera of them doing the dry run before it happened. What are they going to say? Oh, obviously they can read the future and they were just preparing for something that was going to happen. What are they going to say? Cory Booker. Talk about, and where do they dredge up these losers? And Beto, this guy, Beto O'Rourke, right? Doesn't believe in guns. And so he doesn't believe in anything that the Texans believe in. So he'll never go anywhere unless they cheat. That's the only way they can. These people they're like clowns that they hold up. I mean, Cory Booker, look at this guy, and Cackler herself, the queen of cackle, the vice queen of cackle, I should say. That's all she says. Yeah, she's the border czar. She went almost close to the border once, and she hasn't been back. Really effective. One thing that Trump showed the world and the Americans is an effective politician can get things done. We always used to think that they could never get anything done because they never got anything done. Whenever they did get something little done, they whoa, they actually did something. But Trump did. He showed them all how to be a good politician. So people should be taking notes and doing what he did. I mean, it's a formula for winning. It's a formula for winning. Here's some more of those one-tap mobile options that you all like so much. Let's see if these work. But maybe, but I think it needs the, I think it doesn't have the passcode. Oops. Trump is not a politician. Well, he was a politician. Yes, he was. He became a politician. But he's the kind of politician that we should have. Someone in business or in normal life that comes to public service for a while and goes back to that public life. That's the way our system is supposed to work. We're not supposed to have, these career 30, 40, 50-year Congress people racking up the illicit funds that they all garner somehow from foreign countries in different ways. I need to, I think here it is. I should have had this with that. I'm sorry. I posted the wrong thing. This is the full thing, I think. Oh, Dark Brain already did it. So there's a bunch of different options for you folks. So if you want to call in, got a comment about previous show or something else, maybe there's something you heard about that we didn't cover here? Hey, Sapo, how you doing? Sapo. Yeah, this is the truth. A common citizen could run for office. Yeah, yeah, that's the way it's supposed to be, you know? And that's, why Trump ran. Well, Trump knew he was going to be president. He was advised, he was apprised of his future presidency by the CIA, as are all future presidents. But they're not told when. That's why Trump says very famously, I always knew the day would come. It was only a question of when. Remember, he said that. Because that's what Andrew said years before when he was told he was going to be president. And so was, Bill Clinton and Barack Obama, Barry Soetoro. They weren't told when. They were just told that they would be president one day. And I believe that's why I'm doing good, Sapo. How are you? Phone flood. Oh yeah, phone message flood. Yes. Sorry about that. We're all working at it, aren't we? We certainly are. Well, while we're waiting for someone to call in, this is a still frame from the footage. It's like a montage of different footage, which part of that footage includes the Skinny Bob material. But this is from another meeting where several of these aliens were meeting with the Americans at some base somewhere. But they filmed it. And there's a short little clip that shows this. I enhanced it a little bit so you can see it a little better. It's a little fuzzy, but it looked very, very similar to Skinny Bob. I would guess it's probably the same exact type of extraterrestrial as Skinny Bob, but it's color film, and they're walking, and then all of a sudden the closer one looks at the camera, and then the camera stops because they were very upset. They weren't supposed to be filmed. Very strict. They don't want to be filmed. So soak this up, people. They don't want this out. It's out. We see it. It's there. This is disclosure. Okay? There are aliens. That means to them, we are aliens. So we're aliens to them. They're aliens to us. Only because they originated some other place. Right? Maybe they came from the inner earth. Who knows? We just don't know. That's why we need full disclosure. Full disclosure. That's what we want. And we want it ASAP. As soon as possible, don't you think? I think. I do think so. So that's a very interesting picture of the aliens, don't you think? Do I have the video of this one? No, it's on the internet though. It's kind of hard to look. I didn't have it ready. I was just going to show this one picture. I have shown that video in the past, but showing videos with my limited equipment here, it's real choppy. It's not very smooth, and you miss a lot. It's super choppy, which I'm hoping when I get my new computer, that will be resolved. We are Devo. Yes, we are not men. We are Devo, Abby. That's right. They need those red hats. That would look great on them. Hats. Here's something, friends. I was thinking about this today. I've got a theory. This is just a theory, but hear me out. What do you think about this? Now, hats. Hats are very interesting. So I'm thinking about different kind of hats. And I'm thinking about the yarmulke, all right? It's a hat worn by Jewish men, right? But it's not a hat that goes on top of your head. It's a hat that goes like back here, like right here. And it's kind of an awkward angle. So they have to actually pin them in, like with bobby pins, right? So I have a theory about the person who designed that hat. I think it was a man. I think it was a man with male pattern baldness, because that's right where you start going bald for male pattern baldness. So, you know, they probably said, hey, we need a new hat for this movement here. Oh, new hat. Okay. Well, if you're going to design a hat and you're a man, you're going bald, you're going to design one that covers your bald spot. I think that could be. Now, I'm not saying anything negative about the religion. I'm just commenting about the hat. There may be other hats that are attached that way, and they might have a similar origin. But I'm just saying, it's just kind of a random thought that flowed through my head today. So I thought I'd share that with you. Of course, these guys, there's nothing to pin it to. They'd have to have a completely different kind of design. Those aliens. Yeah. Hello, Peggy Dancer. Zozo just finished? Okay. I tried commenting on Zozo's Twitch, but it just kept saying trying to connect to chat, and it wouldn't do it. I had to give up. But yeah, I'll have to probably go on a little earlier than Zoso, maybe later. What time is it now? 11? Maybe earlier. Yeah, for vanity. That's right, Abby. It could be. I mean, you know, it's male pattern baldness. It happens back there. So it's kind of coincidental that that's where that hat goes, you know? Isn't that weird? A Rasta hat. So yeah, I don't know. It was a random thought about hats. Now, Jim Sparks, here's another still from that footage from the Skinny Bob material. And it shows a craft flying. It's a very brief footage. This is like the clearest frame I could find. And it's got some, you know, numbers on it here. But it's taken from an airplane or some kind of flying craft. And this thing's flying, you know, beside it. Just adjust it a little bit here. Oh, too much brightness. It's not going to work. I don't know if we're going to be able to get much out of this, friends. Let me sharpen it up a bit. Yeah. But it's clearly up there flying. It's a classic saucer, flying saucer. So it's very, very, very cool. Yeah. You painted a picture of Bob Marley on a shirt for him and he crocheted that for me? Oh. A dread cap given to me in trade by a Rasta. Oh, cool. A dread cap. I know I should have come on YouTube and I was going to, but I thought, oh, wait a minute, I got to get ready for my show. So I had to start to get ready for my show. I only had just a brief time to say something, and I was going to jump off. But next time he's on, I will. I'll try to. Yeah, he's on the same day. Now, he's on Sunday night, and I'm on Monday. I think that's the only day we differ on days. That's why he came on my Monday night, and I'm going on his Sunday show. Yeah, it does look a little bit like the one I saw. However, the one I saw had like looking like portals on it, portal windows on the top. But yeah, they're similar. Only the one I saw was crisper. It was pointier on the edges, pointier. So yeah. Yeah, there you go. It's so sad what happened to Bob Marley. It's so sad. And I don't know if you've ever seen the footage of the guy admitting, confessing that he was a government assassin, and he was told to kill people. He'd go and kill them. And he said that they got away from shooting people, and they did it more subtly. And the one that bothered him the most was Bob Marley, because he got to know him, and he thought he was a really nice guy. That was the only one that he wished he hadn't have done. And what he did was he explained, you might have seen the video of it, but apparently he was told to go and meet Bob Marley, befriend him, and give him a gift of a pair of tennis shoes. So he gave him this gift of tennis shoes that were his size. When he put the shoes on, he stepped down, and he took it off right away, one of the shoes off, because it punctured his heel, or bottom of his foot. But what he didn't realize, but the assassin knew, was on that metal tip that penetrated his skin under his foot, on his bottom of his foot, contained the pathogens that he would later die from some certain kind of cancer that he died from. And it took several years. And that's just sick that they would do that, because he represented hope and happiness and things, and they don't want that. Isn't that sick? I think that was what he said. But yeah, look that up. The guy who confessed, I can't remember his name. But yeah, very sad. I'm really glad that these people are coming out and giving these testimonies, though, because now that we know that they're doing stuff like that, hopefully it'll stop. Hopefully enough people in the places that can do something about that will make it stop. Weaponized cancer, that's right. It is very horrific and sad. Yes, Peggy Dancer, it is. Yes. They also infiltrated the hippie movement, and they introduced LSD and other kinds of harmful, very harmful drugs to disrupt, and some disruptors to disrupt the whole idea of living in communes. Because if you're living in a commune, you're off grid. You're not paying, your duties, your citizen duties of paying this tax and that tax and utilities and whatnot. So the cockroaches are ugly insects, but once you see them, once you know that they're there, you can take steps to stop them from being there. Just like when we find these creeps in like in these three-letter agencies that go around killing innocent people that just want to make the world a happier place, you know. But the good thing is, friends, is there's way, way, way more good people than there are bad people. And all we have to do is displace those bad people in places of power, and we will have a fantastic planet again. Yes. Oh, Electric Kool-Aid Acid Test was a great documentary of the whole hippie infiltration. That might have been where I saw that. Yeah, that sounds really good. Thanks. My name is D. Thanks, D. Yeah. Yes, Dark Brain, you're right about Bob Marley. Yeah, he was, and similarly, look at John Lennon. You know, was that guy that killed him? Was he MK Ultra? Was he skull to brain messaged to give him these messages? You know, just like that school disruption that happened today or the other day recently. Was that staged? Was that caused by Voice to Skull to take away from the Ghislaine or Ghislaine or Ghislaine? Someone said I said it right, but I said it every way you could say it, so I'm still confused. Ghislaine, 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 Ghislaine. Something. Yeah. What's frightening is that Jeffrey Epstein was trying to create a race of people with his genes, and that's just kind of scary to me. Kind of scary. I checked my analytics. I check my analytics from time to time to see how the channel is doing. And check this out. I like the number 17, right? Check this out. 17. Look at that. Subscribers. New subscribers, 17. About the same as usual. Hey, I'll take 17 every time. Isn't that wonderful? I love that number. It keeps showing up too. Almost like it's trying to tell me something. Fourth victim passed today. Yeah, that is sad. It's even sadder if it was a controlled thing, because the timing of these things is, I don't know. It's kind of bizarre. It's just kind of bizarre. So 17, that's a pretty good number. I'll take that. I will definitely take that. 17. Here are some more pictures, some pictures from the Dorothy Izat story. And I've shown these before too. Dorothy Izat sadly passed away a few years ago. It's very sad. Where is that? That's not it. Oh my goodness. Peggy Dancer. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for that very generous. Oh my God. Two of them? Was that a mistake, Peggy? Oh my goodness. Oh, I don't know what to say. I'm the only one YouTuber that has every subscriber watch every show. Congrats. That's funny. My name is Dee. Thank you, Peggy Dancer. Wow, that is very generous of you. I also have to thank Catherine Weiss for donating as well. Thank you very, very much. That is just incredible. Oh, thank you, Peggy Dancer. Oh, that makes me feel so good for continuing my children's books. I was working on them today. Oh, thank you so much. Merry Christmas. Oh, Merry Christmas to you too, Peggy Dancer. That is so sweet of you. Yeah, and I'm very, very, very much blown away by that. Thank you so much. Thank you very, very, very much. That means a lot to me. You know, I wake up in the morning and I start working on my books. I want to get those done. I want to get them onto a platform where you can order a digital copy of it, or you can have a print on demand. That's what I want. So then you can get a hard copy of it. And I want to give hard copies of these to my granddaughters, each one of them. So yeah. Thank you so much. Wow. Peggy Dancer. I'm telling you, we got the best people here, friends. We're all in really good company. We got the best mods. Oh my goodness. Anyone who works to help the children is number one in my eyes and heart. Oh, thank you so very much. Oh, that's so sweet. Hey, Terry Hopper. Time machine. Still working. Yes. Yes. Thank you, Abby. Yeah, the time machine. You know, I brought one. My daughter's been having it. She has one too. And, you know, she's having fun traveling into the future as well with her friends, having a great laugh too. So, yeah, these craft here friends were captured by Dorothy Izat, and sadly, she passed away a couple of years ago. But I'm in talks with some people who were in contact with her and lined up both the writing of the book, Contact with Beings of Light, and the movie Capturing the Light by Frank Longo. And so I'm going to be inviting them onto the show into the future. Sandy Sue 22, there you are. Hello, welcome to the show. So I will be having them on the show to talk about their interactions with Dorothy. You know, when the movie came out, I saw the movie before I read the book. And when I read the book, there's so much more in the book than there is in the movie. And one of the things that's in the book that's not in the movie is this scene where in the 70s, Dorothy the word was getting out about her footage that she caught on camera. And she was featured in a couple of things. And these Japanese researchers came to visit her from Japan, and they wanted to see if they could have an experience and see some craft with her. And the whole time they were there, they didn't really see anything while they were there. So they decided to go to this fair. I don't know if it was a state fair or a county fair. And all the visitors were in the fair on the rides doing whatever. And Dorothy went kind of outside of the fence of the thing. And all of a sudden, this craft came right overhead, right above her. And she got her home movie camera out and she filmed it. She was very close, and they were looking through the portal, through the window at her, through a clear area of it. And they were waving at her, and she was waving, and she was filming with her home movie camera. But when she got that film back, it showed her filming the aliens. So she was close enough to the vehicle where she was caught in kind of a time loop or a time distortion, where she was actually filming herself filming. Isn't that freaky? Amazing. This woman caught 30,000 feet of footage. And this is some of the stuff that she had. Sounds like I got a call, friends. Oh, and this wouldn't be our good friend Maxwell Smart now, would it?
Yes, indeed.
Well, hello there. How are you doing today?
Hello. Good. I'm a little nasally, if you can't tell. I had a burrito, and I guess I'm allergic to something in a burrito because it's made my sinuses plug up.
Could be those jalapenos.
Maybe. I don't know. It's strange, but it's starting to clear now. I mean, I would have called a little earlier, but I just couldn't talk.
Okay.
Strange.
Well,
So,
I hope that you get better. I mean, we're having a great time over here. We had some very generous super chats, and we're talking about Ghislaine Maxwell. We're talking about UFOs. On the screen now, I have 4 images from different episodes that were caught on film by Dorothy Izat. Dorothy Wilkinson Izat. And I was telling the friends here that I'm in talks now with some people who were the original people in touch with her. And so I'm going to be having them on the show in the near future, hopefully, to talk about Dorothy Izat, because I think it's a very important story that needs to be talked about more.
cool.
And Mud Rabbit says jalapenos should open your sinuses. Smiley face.
I tell you, I tried Campbell's Chunky Soup has a new variety. It's called Spicy Chicken Noodle.
Okay.
Holy moly, that's hot. So I just warn people, if they like hot food, boy, that spicy chicken noodle will open your sinuses, I'll tell you.
Oh my goodness. Peggy Dancer says hi.
So hot.
Peggy Dancer says hi, Maxwell.
Hi to all.
Good to hear.
Peggy.
Good to hear you, she says. And she just gave 2 big super chats. So thank you so much to Peggy Dancer. She's awesome. Everybody is awesome. Thank you so much.
Awesome.
And so yeah, Dorothy Izat, 30,000 feet of footage, including footage that she caught. She filmed actually herself filming the aliens because she was so close to the ship. She was caught in a time bubble. So very interesting. And of course that wasn't in the movie, but it was in the book. But so yeah, I'm going to try and get some people on that have some knowledge about Dorothy Izat's story, some intimate knowledge about.
Now, are you familiar with the channel Journey to Truth?
Oh yeah, Tyler and Aaron.
Okay, yeah. I didn't know if you.
Tyler's got a really cool name, but I think Aaron has a really better name. Yeah, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder why.
Yeah. I should have trademarked it. Darn. Oh well.
You even have a museum named after you.
I do?
Yeah, National Air and Space Museum in Washington, D.C.
I also have a mountain range.
Okay.
Sierra Nevada mountains. Sierra Nevada. Yeah.
I'm not getting it. But...
Sierra Nevada. It's if you have to repeat it more than 6 times, it's not a joke, friends.
Okay.
It could be a fail. And Austin Morris is in the house, and so is Corbin Phoenix. Hey, the man himself, the legend.
Lots of great people.
Corbin Phoenix. Go check him out. He's got songs. He's an amazing talent. So go check him out. He's a great songwriter, singer, performer. And I think he produces too. He's a pretty cool guy. And he's a great writer. Fantastic writer. So there you go. So
what's the topic of the moment?
Well, we've been kind of talking about everything, and just now I just started talking about these craft that Dorothy Isaac caught. And a lot of times she'd be filming these, and like the one in the bottom left corner looks like a derby hat. She said, "I can't see it. Can you light up a little more so I can see it?" And they did. They light it up, and then she'd take the film. So they were connected.
I do have one piece of news I saw that might be of interest to the group. I saw where some kind of federal court ruled that 3 states, Tennessee, Kentucky, and Ohio, were now exempted from one of the mandates. I think it's the mandate that involves public service employees from getting the jab.
Okay, good.
So I think then there were the 10 states that were exempted by federal courts a few days ago. That was Alaska, Nebraska, North and South Dakota, Iowa, Kansas, Alaska, whatever. So there are more and more being exempted.
Yeah.
So now it's probably going to go eventually in front of the Supreme Court.
Oh yeah.
But now that there's been more than one federal court rule unconstitutional, and one in Massachusetts that ruled that they could go forward, there's definitely going to have to be some kind of it'll have to go through, to resolve it, it'll have to go in front of the Supreme Court. So,
okay.
So that's,
yeah. Wow. Okay.
So that's good news, though. That's all good news, though.
Yeah.
Being challenged on.
Yeah.
And of course, of course, the court ruled that Trump's stay in Mexico, or I think that's what it's called, where the people who want asylum in the United States have to file in Mexico.
Yeah.
And that got reaffirmed. So the Biden administration was ordered to start doing that instead of catch and release. Right. So the deep state's taken some serious hits lately.
Well, I hope it continues. Let's just keep it rolling. Keep it rolling. Keep it rolling.
It's going to.
So someone in the chat, I can't see who said it now, but someone in the chat mentioned I should show something I showed earlier in the show. So, you and Austin can see it. I know you can't see because you don't have your computer over there, but so I was looking at this footage from the space station of the Earth. And I just took some random screenshots, and I was checking those screenshots the other day, and I found something. I had to pump up the brightness super bright. So the Earth is almost like white, and the thing around it was very bright. But there's something lurking right above the Earth, very big, some distance away from the craft. And here's what I found. So what do you think about this? So those of you who were here early, the few of you who were here early saw this already, but it's I got the wrong thing. Oh darn. That didn't work. I clicked the wrong thing. How did that? I don't get it. Preview screenshot. It should have worked. Let's see. I think it's working now, isn't it? I'll have to check over here. Yeah, my oh, it's not showing up. It's not working. It's not working.
When they had that UFO model that Bob Lazar, I can't remember, they put out the model when it first came out. They had either a picture inside a little book, inside the model kit, or it was on the back of the box. I know you have a version of that. I don't know if it's the earliest version or not, but they had a picture supposedly taken by the Soviets of Area 51 and S4. And I had, this to give you an idea how long ago this was. They didn't yet have color scanners.
Okay.
But I had the highest resolution you could buy, black and white scanner.
Did it again. Okay.
And I scanned that image at the highest resolution, and then I used different things to change the contrast and everything else. So I saved file after file after file of them. Big, at that time, very big images files, you know? And at one point, I reached a contrast at which you could see the hidden doors of the hangars in the door of S4.
Okay.
You
told me about that, and I checked my package, and I didn't see that on there, where it was visible. It wasn't. One
of these days, I want to get that images to you.
Okay.
I just remembered where I have them. I just haven't got to them yet. I'm trying to rack my brain as to where did I have those. You know.
Okay.
I finally figured that out. So.
Okay. Good. Well, let me know when you get those.
So eventually I'll get one to you so you can show the people when you can see that even with that old technology back then, you could discover things if you spent the time using all the different image manipulation tools and things. There's a lot more that you can see that if you use those tools.
So here's that picture. I got this picture up now. It's the Earth, and it's just black space up here. And I did some adjustments, and so I went all the way up with the brightness. You see how bright the Earth got? And now I'll go and the shadows, and look, there's something right here. Okay, it looks like there's like a yardstick here too, or something, some kind of panels. But right here is something. So I zoomed in on it. And there it is. I mean, I have a better picture of that, because I did the same thing again. I saved the image like this, and then I brightened it again. So I got it twice as bright. And there's some kind of craft or some kind of space station or something. It looks like two ships docking or something. It's really bizarre. Let's try this again. I hope this happens. I hope this works this time. Something's freaky about
Tesla.
A what?
Does it look like a car, like a Tesla?
No. It looks like kind of a. It looks like a square kind of or a tube shaped, like almost like a short cigar type craft, and then like a pointy craft on top of it, like a dagger, but it's got like wings on the side. And someone made the comment, it looks kind of like Skylab, and it sort of resembles a Skylab type design, but it's not. We looked at the Skylab, and It was different.
It came out of the sky, it crashed, and
yeah. Well, they said it. They said, you know, we were spitballing, or maybe they said it crashed and they use it for clandestine purposes. Who knows? But so there's something there. There's something there, and I don't know if anyone else ever found this or not, because I, you know, but look how bright the Earth got, and the craft is something a distance away, and you couldn't see it at all in the original picture. So, what is it? What is it? And there's two bright lights here too. Like, what are those?
Here's a true story. I actually spoke to the head of NASA on the day Skylab supposedly came crashing down.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. So I'm not gonna go into any more detail, but
did they give you any did they give you any skinny on it? Did they tell you that what was happening?
Oh yeah, we had a live broadcast. I got to see a live broadcast of it supposedly coming down.
Oh cool.
And he was in direct communication all the while I was talking with him, with the people from NASA. This is the head of NASA. So,
wow, that's awesome. Well, you're connected, dude. This guy's connected, guys.
But that's a true story.
Interesting.
None of my friends know that.
Okay.
So,
now they do.
So you get the first time, yeah.
Now everybody knows.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my little discovery. So someone in the chat reminded me to show that. Thought it might be of interest to some of the folks who came later. So I'm glad we did. It is it's very interesting. I know it's something, you know, and you know, the secret space program has other things out there, and there's many different levels to the secrets. There's many different secret space programs, different levels, you know.
In different countries.
Yeah. So there you go. There's an amazing new discovery. You saw it here first, folks. We don't know what it is, but it's definitely something. And someone said, well, maybe it's a reflection of the inside. That could be, but I mean, I don't know. It just looks like something sitting out in space to me. It doesn't look like a control.
I've always wondered if I'm what they call an empath, because I can drive by a place, and I've told people before, there's a secret facility here. I can feel it, yeah, and then a point where it's at. Okay. And I've actually found a number of facilities that weren't public at the time, that later were revealed as secret facilities. And I said, see, I told you.
Wow.
Yeah, I just can feel it when I go next to them, and I don't know how, you know. There's something here, you know.
That's awesome. That is incredible.
Yeah, it's interesting. It makes me wonder, you know, is that a product of me knowing something about it in the future, and it's just being revealed to me now, or is it a natural ability or something? I don't know. I don't have that answer.
Right.
But there's some strange bases in places. Like there's a number of naval bases in landlocked within the country. You know?
Right. Yeah. You mentioned that before too. That sounds pretty interesting. Yeah. A naval base in Pennsylvania or someplace like that.
Or the naval base in Bloomington, Indiana, in the middle of the country.
Okay.
There's a bunch of facilities all around. There's one in the Smoky Mountains, right in the Great Smoky Mountains.
Wow.
And place that they actually fly planes into the mountain. So, but at least that's been reported. I never saw that happen. I had a friend up in Tennessee that has a property, and he told me about watching. And they used to sit on top of this hill and watch the planes fly into the mountain. And I said, "Oh, you mean over the mountain?" He said, "No, into the mountain." I said, "What?" And I said, "Yeah, they've done it for years."
Wow.
Says every once in a while, though, one of the planes crashes, and they lock down the whole area for a number of hours.
Wow.
I think he said, I don't know, it was back in the 80s or something. He said 80s or 90s, I don't know. He said something about there's a plane that crashed and the ejection seat was missing, and they never found it. And I thought some guy probably had it stuck in his barn somewhere.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm going to show one of the pages from the Awesome Possum Goes to School. Peggy Dancer really likes that I'm working on these children's books. And so I thought I'd just post this. I think I posted this one before. I've got 3 more pages that are almost ready to show from the original book. So I'll be posting those on upcoming episodes. And these ones aren't finished. This one isn't finished, but in this one right here, the words for it are, okay. He eats his breakfast and drinks his juice. He wonders if his teacher is going to be Miss Moose. And so he's imagining her. He's got his banana and some cereal and the juice there. So he's getting ready for school. This is Awesome Possum Goes to School. And so that's one of the pages. And here's another one of the pages. I think I've shown this one as well. But these are the 2 that I have that are nearest completion, but still a long ways to go. And this one, Awesome Possum, is in the classroom. And he's with his buddy Gary Goose there, and Miss Moose is at the chalkboard, and the teacher says, this is what the page is going to say for this corresponding picture. Time to do art, says the teacher to the class. Finger painting is fun. This school is a blast. So it's a very short read. So it's an ideal first type book for a kid to help them learn to read, because it's very short, 4 lines per page. And so, yeah, it's fun. First day of school. And of course, this picture isn't finished either. There's some more detail I have to add to it. So I'll be showing this as it gets further along. And Abby says, very cute and nice colors too. Thank you.
Now my sinuses are completely clear.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's really strange. I eat something and then it makes my sinuses plug up, and then you wait a half hour later and it's completely clear. Strange.
I just looked in the chat here, and so Catherine Weiss says, sending prayers, Dark Brain. So I'm wondering, is Dark Brain okay? Or do we need to send our prayers? Put Chris on the prayer chain here, Dark Brain. Okay, Chris.
Well, what are we praying for? What?
Donna Lee Gwynn is mentioning it. We'll pray for Chris. Okay, I'm scrolling up. I apologize. I don't see all the chats usually. Prayers for Audrey Ryan's son in son-in-law, Chris, in hospital on a ventilator, given a 20% chance of recovery. Oh my God, please pray. Yes, prayers, please. Send your prayers for Audrey Ryan's son-in-law, Chris, who's in the hospital on a ventilator. Oh my God. Oh, yes. So we're sending our prayers.
Now, did you say Donnelly Gwynn?
Donna Leanne Gwynn.
Oh, okay. Donna Leanne Gwynn. Okay. Because I've known a lot of Gwynns in my life.
Yeah.
All of them are great people.
You mean first name Gwen? Is that the name? Or
no, Gwynn, Gwin, I think.
That's a first name?
Last name.
Oh, last name. Okay. Well, you could use this. I use this for the name Gwen, but you could use it for Gwyn too. Knock, knock.
Who there?
Gwyn.
Gwyn who?
Gwyn my way. Gwyn. Yeah. Yeah, I know. That's my only joke like that.
Grumble, grumble, grumble.
Grumble, grumble. You're welcome, Dark Brain. I just saw that. I had to scroll up and see what that was. You're very welcome, Dark Brain. Yes. Let's hope that let's pray that everyone who needs prayers gets their prayer answered. Let's pray for that, for everybody, and especially Chris. Yeah, finger painting. He's going to be finger painting with his tail there too. I think I'm going to put some paint on that as well. So yeah, finger painting with his tail.
Okay, you lost me for a minute. We're talking about Chris, and you're talking about finger painting with his tail. Like what?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I read something. So the picture I have up is the Awesome Possum finger painting. He's got some purple paint.
I just went right into this, and then all of a sudden my brain's not connecting.
Yeah. Well, maybe it's a test. It has to be a test for people then.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he does lots of things with his tail. When he's dressing, when he's getting ready for school, his tail is helping to put on a sock. And when he's combing his hair, getting ready for school, his tail is combing his hair while he's doing these other things, getting ready. So yeah, he's got a
tail.
He's ambidextrous with his tail, I guess. I don't know what that would be, but yeah. I thought, well, he's got a tail. He might as well use it, right?
Right. That's really innovative, yeah.
If I had a tail, I'd sure be using it. So there you go.
Have you ever seen that? I don't know how many people are into or interested in the monatomic gold subject, but there's a video out there where this guy his cat lost his tail. It got chopped off.
Ouch.
Somehow. And the guy shows, it's pretty graphic. The guy shows pictures of the cat's tail. It's kind of gruesome looking, right? Well, the guy started putting this cream on it that has some kind of monatomic element. I don't think it was necessarily gold on it. And he showed with time, the tail completely grew back.
Wow.
Yeah, and he's got the proof in all the images.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty compelling,
Interesting.
But
interesting.
Now, the easiest way to get monatomic gold there's a method for you get like Himalayan sea salt.
Himalayan salt. I got that right here. Pink salt. Himalayan pink. Yeah.
And you take that and you put about you get a little bottle and you put it I don't know, So you put a certain amount in the bottle, and you look at the level, and then you add equivalent amount of grapeseed oil over the top of it, and you shake it, and it gets warm. It gets warm, and it gets cloudy, and it takes a whole day for the cloudiness to go away. But when you're left, you've got the supposedly the monatomic gold dissolved in the grapeseed oil, and then you can use that on your skin, or you can use it in your food, drink it,
Mm-hmm. Well, I
to get benefits from it.
I put this Himalayan pink salt on everything. It's really good. Sometimes I eat it just alone. I don't know if you're supposed to do that or not, but that's where I get my minerals from actual stuff I eat. I don't take any pills, any vitamins
Well, this was important for people to know. If they eat out most of the time and don't cook much at home, there's a good chance that they're deficient in not only iodine, but also selenium. And of course, long term, that'll end up giving you thyroid issues. Usually lower output thyroid, hypothyroidism. And it's why? Because they don't use iodized salt in any of the restaurants. So if you just eat out, or if you just use gourmet salts at home, none of those contain iodine.
Yeah.
And so you become deficient in iodine.
Well, I haven't had that in years, so I don't know if that's true or not, because I'm still kicking.
So are you saying you eat out all the time? Is that?
No. I don't buy iodized salt. I use this Himalayan pink salt. It's got 84 trace minerals in it. And
well, that might be an exception to the rules,
You think?
Yeah.
You think it might have iodine in it?
Well, and plus the things you eat might have iodine in them.
Yeah, that's what I never understood the idea of taking pills. Why not just eat the food that has the stuff in it that you need? I mean, you got to eat anyway.
That's always the best.
Yeah.
If you can do that, that's great. That's the best.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But when your doctor says, "Oh, you need more vitamins X or vitamin G or whatever," and you say, "Well, do you know what foods that comes in?" They'll say, "No." Well, that might be
Well, I love it when the doctors say, "Oh, you got this, and we got to take out your thyroid or whatever," and thyroid can get infected. I had a friend that didn't take care of her teeth, and she got an infection of her thyroid, and then she got hypothyroidism, and I said, the doctor said, "We're going to have to remove your thyroid," whatever. I said, "Don't listen to that yet,
Mm-hmm.
And I got her to get some antibiotic, and she got some antibiotic, and her thyroid normalized. And then that's where I discovered she either ate out or didn't use anything that had iodine in her food. And so got her some things with iodine in it, and all of a sudden her thyroid started getting better. And then I got her some things with selenium in it, and then her thyroid function actually went from underproducing to slightly overproducing. And the doctors were like scratching their head, like, "That's not possible," But yes,
Mm-hmm.
it is. You just don't understand it. Like I've been doing a lot of research with lots of interesting things in our body that are sugars attached to something else, and they have a variety of functions. Like our immune system, on the way it recognizes and brings in, say, a virus into the cell, there's a sugar attached to usually a fatty end. And the fatty end is, these are sitting on the surface of all the organs. And if you look at an individual cell, the fatty end is what allows it to go through the membrane and get pulled into the cell. You know, you've probably heard the phrase lipid bilayer. That's basically what a membrane is.
Okay.
And anyway, but there's all kinds of things. Some of the major toxins that affect our body are a sugar attached to a fatty tail. Like there's something called endotoxin that's produced by bacteria when you kill the bacteria. And these endotoxins are what make you feel ill. Like if you have got a bacterial infection, you take antibiotics, you know how you can feel blah for a few days, or your muscles ache. All those things, those are all related to that toxin. It's the toxin that's creating that response. That's called a Herxheimer reaction.
Okay.
But well, there's a YouTube channel. Well, not a YouTube channel. It's a Facebook page and a YouTube channel, I think, called Forks Over Knives. Well, they did the work to dig up the research that led to the conclusions. Originally, there were conclusions that saturated fats were bad for you. Remember, this has been like in the 70s. You shouldn't eat eggs because it's got a lot of saturated fat in it. You shouldn't eat all these things, right? Which they no longer know. They know that's no longer true. Well, the conclusion, the reason they concluded the saturated fats were bad was, if you dig into it, they found toxins in the gut, and they said the saturated fats were pulling the toxins into the bloodstream. But when they thought the toxins were coming from the good bacteria in the gut. And the people from the Forks Over Knives actually dug in and found out the reports. And the reports didn't say what the mainstream media was saying it said. What it said was there were toxins present, and they thought the toxins were coming from beef. And then someone said, well, why would all these bacterial toxins be found in beef? I said, well, because if you don't take care of the beef, and the beef are exposed to more and more bacteria, that some of that's present when the animal, you know, when the steak is formed or the hamburger is formed, right? And so it's those toxins that really lead to the inflammation related to heart disease. Okay. So what was the implication? Well, the implication is if we did a better job and treated the animals we eat better, we would all live healthier lives, dramatically healthier lives. The incidence of heart disease would go down. Mm-hmm. Right. And then there's ways to scrub that toxin out of the body so that it no longer is a problem. But the mainstream media isn't going to tell you that. They want you to go on and suffer from heart disease, right? Mm-hmm. So they can treat you for it. But there's a lot of videos on Forks. It's called Forks Over Knives. I highly recommend people that are interested in their health to go see some of the videos they have, the early videos and papers describing, you know, essentially gut health related to heart health and our overall health, because it reveals all those studies that were conducted. We were only being told what they wanted to tell us. They didn't tell us the truth. They told us, you know, they told us parts of the study that gave you a wrong conclusion.
Oh, okay.
And there's other things like that. Like there are lots of natural toxins in the environment, like tapioca. There are like 10,000 people die annually in the world from tapioca.
Why do they make it then?
Well, tapioca, when it's been processed with heat, the toxins are destroyed. But people in India, where a lot of it's grown, families that are growing it sometimes don't heat it enough, and the toxins are remaining, and it's poisonous.
Well, now they use that in a lot of foods, a lot of processed foods. They use tapioca as a filler, I think. So
Well, tapioca is great. I love the pudding, tapioca pudding.
I've never liked it. I've never liked it. It always gave me the heebie-jeebies. Never liked it.
Well, bamboo shoots are another example of things that produce this. It's called glycosides. So that's the technical name, cyanoglycosides, which is basically cyanide attached to a sugar of some kind.
Okay.
And heat destroys that. And there's all kinds of common foods that contain it. And it's there in Mother Nature to keep pests from eating those foods.
Mm-hmm.
And man has learned, of course, to heat these foods first,
mm-hmm.
so that they destroy the toxins. Well, here's the really important significance of that. It's one of the cyanoglycosides, they gave a name to it, called it B17.
Okay.
And they call it the anti-cancer vitamin.
Oh, okay.
And why that's so is small amounts of it. Well, concentrated form is called Laetrile, which is banned in the United States. The pure compound's banned and cannot be used in the United States. Of course, they can't ban they don't ban tapioca, or they don't ban lima beans, or they don't ban,
mm-hmm.
even though these things contain these molecules. Well, these molecules, a certain amount of these molecules are toxic, right? If you take in too much, it'll make you sick. It could kill you.
Mm.
But but the interesting thing is a tumor contains an enzyme that breaks that bond between the cyanide and the sugar and releases the cyanide within the tumor. And cyanide kills the tumor, and the tumor swells up as the immune system surrounds it, and it'll just literally destroy a tumor from within.
Okay.
And that's actually the technique I use to get rid of my cancer.
Okay. Wow.
And it's highly effective. It's now worked on at least 12 kinds of cancer that I've had.
Mm-hmm. But this is not medical. This is not medical. Not to be construed as medical or legal advice.
No.
Please.
No. I'm just telling you my experience.
Mm-hmm.
Not telling you to do that.
Right.
That's why I'm not giving you details. The only way I give details if someone had an end and could get me on someone on one of the channels that's not censored.
Right.
I'd love to speak, in Red Pill or someplace
Sure.
and tell specifics, but because there's so many patriots that are suffering from this horrible disease.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't say anything about it really in public.
Right.
Nor on this channel.
Mm-hmm.
Other than very, very generic terms.
Right.
But it works for me. That's what matters right now to me. And I'm confident it probably would work for others, but I don't know that. So
sure.
So
what kind of foods does B12 come in?
B17
or B17? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there are lots of seeds that have it. Now they vary each from fruit to fruit, even like apple seeds have it in it, but apple seeds is not a source one should take because it can vary so drastically that if your dog ate an apple core, it could kill them. You know?
My dog used to eat apple cores all the time.
It varies.
My old
it kind of
dog.
varies. It varies dramatically between the specific type of apples.
Mm-hmm. And I've heard,
and actually from apple to apple.
I've heard
But
also,
it's so variable in apple seeds that one has to be really careful. Baby lima beans that are uncooked, you know, like you find on a salad bar.
Okay.
Those have it in it. Bamboo shoots, of course. But they have to be unprocessed bamboo shoots, but you don't want to eat that, you know?
Yeah. So that would be,
tapioca that's unprocessed.
so if someone's doing some kind of torture on you, putting bamboo shoots up your fingernails, at least you're getting some benefit from it. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. I think you totally misunderstood me.
I saw an opportunity for a joke and I jumped for it. I'm sorry.
But anyway, you want to study that, you know, type in B17 or cyanoglycosides or.
Now, isn't this the apricot pits? Is this the same guy that did that?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So well, I have heard about that then.
Well, that's present in very, very small amounts in, say, a regular apricot pit, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Inside the hard pit is a seed inside it.
Mm.
It's in that seed.
Okay.
The kernel inside that rough pit.
There's a kernel inside there? Is there also a sergeant or a major too, or just a kernel?
Maybe. I know there's kernels in there. Or a kernel. Yeah.
Lima beans are the worst. Lima beans are the worst, says Revlon 1. Ravlon 1. Hello, Ravlon 1. And welcome, Celestial Soul.
One of the common things you can find it in that people use. This knowledge is out there. People do use it. But the problem is, since it's kind of banned by the mainstream science community, right? Nobody's actively told people the safe way to take it. You know, mm-hmm. It is dangerous. There's no question. It's dangerous.
Well,
especially if done incorrectly.
All right. Well, maybe we should stop talking about it then, because it sounds like we're getting in more trouble the more we talk about it.
Well, I don't want people to take it unless they know this, unless they were privy to how it should be taken. You know, it's like anything. Water is dangerous if you inhale too much of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oxygen is very dangerous. Oxygen, we can take you can take a piece of sawdust and put it in pure oxygen, and then the sawdust will ignite.
Okay.
Okay. Oxygen it's amazing that we breathe this stuff. Well, we breathe this stuff because it's only a certain percentage of the total, right? Mm-hmm. And the only time they give you pure oxygen is when you're not getting enough oxygen, you know?
Ailing, yeah. I gotta say what Abby said here. My dad used to eat the whole apple except the stem when apples were good. He has access to much quality organic foods though. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard if you eat the whole apple, the seeds won't hurt you because it stabilizes the poisons in the seeds by eating the whole apple. But if you eat just the seeds, it could be a problem. So,
there are claims to that effect that if you eat I've studied that and haven't seen any basis for those claims.
I saw my son eat one right in front of me. He ate it from the bottom, like you normally eat the side, right? He started at the bottom and ate the bottom and ate the whole thing. And you couldn't even see the core. You couldn't see any seeds or anything. It was amazing. Right. It was like a magic trick.
If you did that and you had a large tumor, you would be in excruciating pain.
Okay.
Okay.
Maybe that's how you can tell if you have a tumor or not.
Well, yeah, actually, but I mean, I used what's called raw bitter apricot kernels. Okay.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, hold on a second. Okay, we're going to have to take a CAT scan. It's going to cost a couple grand. Can I just eat an apple? We'll find the tumor. I'll just eat an apple. It'll be cheaper.
Apple would be the last fruit or seed you'd want to eat.
Okay.
Too dangerous. There are others that are more controlled and better, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying. Apple's not the one to pick. I know it's readily available, but it's also highly uncontrollable because of the variable amounts of the toxin present.
Mm-hmm.
That's the last one you want to consider.
Well,
I've seen a dog paralyzed by eating a apple core.
Okay.
So it just depends. I mean, it's like you don't know. Obviously, you don't know you got cancer, right? Until you take something, you know, that would cause you excruciating pain. Then most people wouldn't know what the pain is caused by.
Mm-hmm.
When I first developed the process to treat cancer, I didn't know what kind of dose to take. There's nothing in all of the internet to tell you what to take, right? And so I was working in the dark. The only thing I knew that the package of material said, do not eat more than this many seeds or it's lethal, right? So what did I do? I took half the amount that they say, right? Thinking that's safe. I was writhing in pain to the point where I thought I was going to die for 2 days.
But that means it's working, right?
Well, it was working, but that's not exactly the way you want to treat yourself, is it?
No. I'm just wondering about.
It was working. Now, I'm just going to tell you that what happened is that I backed it off to about a fourth of that a week later, and I was still writhing in pain, but this time only for 10 hours. So, okay, you've improved pain. So I'm trying to get you the process of developing this treatment was not without much pain. Okay, I give you an idea. Now it's a tiny fraction. If I showed you how much it takes, you'd say, "What? That little bit? That'll get rid of my, this thing that's growing inside me. That'll do it." So yes. And if you don't, you better listen, because if you take more than that, you're going to be cursing at me,
Yeah.
And I had this happen. I had a guy, a choice between a kernel. He said, "Well, I'm just going to take a kernel." I said, "No. If you take that, it may kill you, the pain, Do not." Well, I found out later the guy took the whole thing. It was in fact cursing me, and he had a tumor so big, it was 3 inches thick and about 15 inches wide in his chest. He's a big guy. And I can't imagine the pain this guy had to feel. I can't imagine it. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And my buddy, someone told me about this, and he says, he went and asked the guy what he did, and he said, "He told you, if you were going to do any of this, do not attempt anything but a tiny amount. About at least 1/32 of what you took. 32 times smaller than what you took."
Yeah.
And the guy says, "Well, I know what you told, but it was such a little bit, I didn't think it would work."
Mm-hmm.
Well, the amount was for a reason, because I knew that the pain is just, the pain, turns out the pain is useful If you take the small amounts, you will still have pain, but minimal pain. And that minimal pain will show you right where it's at. You can pinpoint in your body where it's at, okay?
Mm-hmm.
It guides you when it's low level. When it's high level, it's not a guide. It's, terrifying, okay? And as you grow, as you get rid of, as it goes away, you can go to higher and higher dosages to kind of make sure there's none left. But I'd love to talk about it. Anybody can get me on one of those uncensored channels.
Well, maybe I can get you on one of those channels. We'll figure out a way. I think.
A call in.
Yeah, I think I figured a way how to do it.
I'll tell people exactly what I did for myself, but I'll make sure they understand that I'm not a doctor and I'm not prescribing treatment. I'm not,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I'll say, the results could vary between individuals and probably will vary. So I can't recommend that anybody take it.
I just get really nervous when we're talking about stuff like this. Because, they got the crawlers that pick up all the words that to put all this together. I just get real nervous about it. And,
Well, I haven't told you anything about the amounts or anything like that, really.
I know, but I don't think they need they don't need too much. I don't think they need too much. I just get kind of very leery, and I don't want to interrupt you.
About that.
I don't want to interrupt you or anything, but I just worry.
Okay.
I worry about it. It took me a year to build this to this point. I don't want to take another year to build another one.
Right. I understand.
So,
but I would like to get the information out there, an appropriate, venue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because I think it could save at least thousands of lives in our movement.
Mm-hmm.
Well, who was it? One of the people in the Trump administration. The wife she had a cancer that I know will respond. And I've got a long list now of the cancers I know respond: brain, stomach, colon, bladder, kidney, lung, stomach, pancreatic. One of the worst is pancreatic. Gallbladder, prostate. I mean, there's a long list of some of the worst.
Mm-hmm.
All respond.
Mm-hmm.
I know because I had them, all of them.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm about ready to prove that. They've now made diagnostic tests that allow you to confirm that you either have or had those cancers. So Mayo Clinic's got one I'm researching, and there's others, but
mm-hmm.
to prove my claims, basically.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I know it's tempting. It's tempting for me to start my own clinic. I was thinking about starting my own Mayo Clinic, where no matter what they do, they come in the door, I give them a spoonful of mayo, and they call me in the morning.
I actually took one of my medical inventions and actually had a company said they would fund the medical. They'd have to do clinical trials, and they would have to take 7 doctors engaged in researching this treatment. Not the one I was talking about, but the problem is they were too unreasonable about the control of that technology.
Mm-hmm.
There was no guarantee that it would actually see the light of day if I went their route.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what they do. That's one of the ways they stifle innovation.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But one really important thing I can tell you that's off the subject a little bit. I developed a method that hasn't been perfected for scrubbing viral fragments out of the blood.
Okay.
it turns out there are some things known to do that. I had a friend who did research showing that a common antibiotic called doxycycline actually removes viral fragments from the blood. She professed a lot of the health benefits one derives from that antibiotic was actually because of that. Now, I have no way of proving that. I asked her for copies of the paper. She'll haven't gotten it yet.
Okay.
Where she did this research, but
interesting.
She's now a high-level physicist at Oak Ridge National Laboratory.
Okay.
So
wow.
She's not a slouch, you know.
Right.
She knows what she's talking about.
Interesting.
Well, anyway, you got these on the surface of every organ in your body. There's these receptors that a viral fragment can bind to, and but to bind to these receptors, they need a cofactor. In this case, they need something called lactic acid. You know how athletes, when they work out hard, they get lactic acid builds up in the muscle, and that's what makes it tired.
Okay.
Well, anybody does a workout and their muscles get tired, it's because of lactic acid buildup in the muscles. Okay.
Okay.
So it's actually true that you're initially more susceptible to a virus right after you've done a big workout. And the reason for that is because you've got plenty of this lactic acid around. It's needed to allow this fragment to bind to those receptors on the surface of your organs. And once it binds, what happens is it gets pulled into the cell where the body starts mass producing according to the genetic information in that fragment, right? Like in the case of the messenger RNA, the messenger RNA is coded for producing, say, just a spiked program. The spiked, I won't use that word because
yeah.
The spike T.
Right.
And it's routine is after that. But it gets pulled inside, and the body starts mass producing this spike P. And most people don't realize the body mass produces any virus in the body. The virus doesn't do it on its own. It takes over the machinery of the body. So it has to be taken inside the cell first for it to start to do that. Well, I came up with this idea. I found out what those specific linkages on the surface of these organs were, and discovered it's much like what I was telling you. It's a sugar molecule with a fatty tail on it. Okay. There's some commonality in all these things. One sugar molecule, a fatty tail, is a toxin. Another one is the thing that allows your body to pull the viral fragments into the cell. And there's a huge part of our immune system is related to these sugars attached to something else. Okay? Well, anyway, there's a particular sugar thing called sialic acid. And this, if you put it in, and it's a natural sweetener, no calories. And I was going to make and there are white hat companies that know about this, and I believe they're either in development or it's already been put out there. These things, when you take it in a food, I was going to make a soft drink that you put this sialic acid in it, and it acts kind of as a sweetener, and then you have a little bit of lactic acid present. What will happen is any virus or viral fragment that ends up in your bloodstream sees so much of this stuff around that it binds to it. It's got what it needs to bind to it, but it doesn't have a chance to bind to your organs.
Okay.
As a consequence, it gets excreted out of the body.
All right.
And using this technique, in theory, one could scrub out the viruses out of your body on a continuing basis just by having a health drink a day, you know?
Uh-huh. Wow.
So there are people that know about that out there that may have already implemented that in our system to help us with what we're dealing with now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to say that much.
Interesting. You know what, Max? I had an idea a long time ago, like back in the 70s. I had this idea that, you know, because I'm always thinking about the world and problems of the world, hunger and starvation. So I thought it would be cool if we could genetically design a plant, like a house plant, that would produce like 1 or 2 fruits a day, and it would have all of the minerals and vitamins that you need for the day. And it give everyone one of these plants, and then they would have food. You know, they could survive just with that plant. Wouldn't that be cool?
Well, there are some pretty close examples of that.
Potato. I heard the potato has everything except vitamin C. If you eat it raw.
Potato.
If you eat it raw.
The skin is where most of it's at.
Yeah, you got to eat it raw too. You get all
but one of the better examples is an avocado.
Oh yeah.
It contains, you know, there are a number of really good superfoods. Kiwi is a good one. Kiwi fruit is a good one.
Yeah.
But there are a number of those that people ought to definitely research superfoods and look at integrating them into their diet for sure.
I think pineapple should be a superfood. Pineapple
it has a lot of good things.
It's got vitamin C.
Well, it's got vitamin C, and it's got other things. It's got good enzymes that are important in there.
Fiber, but you can't eat the center part. You can get sick from eating that.
Yeah. But you can eat too much pineapple, so
yeah,
you got to be careful with that.
Yeah, I can't eat too much pineapple. I can only eat a couple chunks, and that's it. But I feel better after I do. So whenever I'm feeling sick, I eat a couple of chunks of fresh pineapple, and it just takes care of it. It just does for some reason. Well, let me check the chat here and see what people are talking about. Oh, someone mentioned Apple Day keeps the doctor away when we were talking about apples. Yeah, I think that's probably true. I stopped eating apples. I haven't eaten apples.
The good things, you want to research what's in, one of the good things in apples is malic acid.
Okay.
But the malic acid, actually, when you have it in pure form, tastes just like lemonade. And you don't want to eat too much of it because it'll thin your blood like you wouldn't believe.
Oh.
It's much more powerful than aspirin. Much more powerful than aspirin.
Okay.
So you can literally make a glass of lemonade with a tiny speck of stuff on the end of your fingertip, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Of malic acid. And I suspect that they probably do this. There's probably companies out there making lemonade where that's all they're doing. So it probably costs them a penny to make a half a gallon of lemonade that they charge you $3 for. You know?
Mm-hmm. Wow.
But it's very powerful because the malic acid helps with how your body produces energy to make something called ATP. So, adenosine triphosphate, you know?
Okay.
Adenosine triphosphate, yeah. But I made the mistake of buying about a pound of the malic acid. That pound would last any human. Well, no human could use that pound of malic acid in their lifetime.
Okay.
You know, but anyway, I discovered the hard way. Didn't find warnings about this. I discovered the hard way about the blood thinning effects of it. So, but thus I'm giving you real protective information.
Okay.
Not to go out, but that's what it's present in very small amounts in the apples, so no danger there.
Okay.
And you probably have to eat, I don't know, 25, 30 apples in a sitting.
Okay.
And do that for 10 days in a row.
I can't do that. That would be horrifying. I couldn't do that. I couldn't eat that much of anything. Cool Hand Luke,
So
50 eggs. When 24 hours? Was it 24 hours? Or how long did he have? Certain time period, and he ate 50 hard-boiled eggs. Wow. Well, I think we all did the equivalent of eating 50 hard-boiled eggs tonight because it's running rather late, and I think we should probably put a button on this one. And I want to thank the Super Chatters, Catherine Weiss and Peggy Dancer, for their awesome generosity. Thank you so very much. That's what keeps me going. The people in the chat, the friendliness of everybody, and the warmness and everything. I love you guys, and you guys rock.
Great people.
You guys rock. Thank you, Max, for calling in. I really appreciate it. We missed you. So thanks for calling.
It's an honor.
We're going to get you on Red Pill. We'll figure out how to do it, and we'll do it.
There's things I'd love to share that there's a lot more even basic information that I think would be useful.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's not even specifically taking anything. There's a simple diagnostic test that will tell you whether or not you're likely to have an aneurysm that will, bleed out suddenly or something.
Mm-hmm.
If you feel it, if you can feel your belly button, you can feel your heart beat in your belly button,
Mm-hmm.
then you need to go tell your doctor immediately.
Okay.
But that's an example. I'll tell you more about that later.
Okay. And for all the people out there who are maybe getting a colonoscopy, like when I got my colonoscopy, I told my doctor, I said, well, as long as you're in there, check out my semicolon too, will you? So make sure you check your semicolon, folks, because you don't want that to get upset. And I don't know if I told you, Max, but I used to have 2 kidneys. But now I have 2 adult knees, and it is a problem. That's my only kidney joke. And I wrote that joke myself. So thank you. Thank you very much. I need to get some.
You'd be glad that I don't share the ones I made up.
I need to get like a snare drum and some applause for the background. I need one of those little machines that does that little magic work for me.
You like to have on Space Force News? All those.
Yeah, Zoso Dude even has one of those. Yeah. So I gotta get up to speed here, and I will with a little bit of.
Well, some of those jokes you need a whoopee cushion for.
Yeah. Yes. Well, like I said, thank you to the Super Chatters, Catherine Weiss and Peggy Dancer. Thank you very, very much. And thank you to everybody who shared the platform, the program here, and who subscribed, who sent it to all their friends to subscribe. You gotta call them daily. Did you subscribe to Aaron's show yet? And together we can make this thing work and have a lot of fun and get some more fancy things that we can do here for you to keep you more entertained. Thank you to the mods. We got the best mods in the system on the whole intranet with Dark Brain and Mud Rabbit. They do a fantabulistic job. Unbelievable. And remember to keep your phones and your cameras pointed to the skies, because you can take the picture of that UFO and come on to the Truth Quest and talk about it. Until then, peace in.